Hello YouTube, Dr. Solar coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria. So today I'm going to give you a couple of updates. On one, it looks like the rainy season finally came. We've had a bunch of really cloudy days, and then sometime around midnight the rains came. It was very heavy and they lasted till about 7:30 this morning. So two things I'll do today. I'll give you an update on the LuxPower, and then I'll give you an update on the Weco. Let's start with the LuxPower. As you could see, it is off. Why is it off? Well, if you recall, I had an earth leakage issue, and then I earthed it and it was working fine, and then I decided to wet the earth rod because I knew the rains will come, and I'm not sure if that's what caused it, but once I wet it, I was doing some maintenance on the refrigerator, replacing the emptying the tray, you know, the drip tray for when you defrost it, the one in the back, not the one inside. And I accidentally poured some water, and then when I touched the wire, I got a shock. I was thinking that it was because I got it wet, so I didn't think too much of it. I turned off the power switch, emptied all the water, put the tray back in, the collection tray back in, and then I turned the fridge back on again. And then I don't know what prompted me to want to touch this, and when I did, I got a shock, and I realized that it was coming from the LuxPower. So it's powered off. I'm going to have one of my techs come in and then trace to find out why we had the earth leakage. For it to especially come to the DC side, that bothered me a little bit, because I could destroy a bunch of things. So for now it's off, but while it was on, it performed flawlessly. I like the ability to be able to look on my phone to see what it's doing, change settings on my phone, or change settings using the laptop. So that I liked very much. The only thing I didn't like is the amount of effort involved in trying to isolate the earth output side or the earth input side, and well, getting electric shocks. I didn't like that part. So once we get it resolved, we'll be back on. So that's one. Number two, the Weco. So the Weco have been running for about a week, and what are my observations? The first 2-3 days I was not very happy. Part of the reason why I wasn't happy was, one, we never really fully charged it. Two, we set a charge profile where the voltage was very minimal. And three, thinking that it would perform like any other lithium-ion battery, I set the, let me take this off. I set the charge voltage to 55 volts, I think 55 volts, yes, or 5.4, I don't remember what that number was. And I was not getting the results. My battery monitor would show what I was pulling out, and part of it was we weren't even fully charging the battery. That was one thing that was going on as well. So when we woke up in the morning, one day I think I pulled 82 amp hours out of it and the battery went flat. And then the next day I pulled 72 amp hours and the cutoff kicked in. So I was wondering to myself, what were we doing wrong? So I upped the charge voltage. I went from 55 to 55.4 to 55.9. This is a 16S. So theoretically you could push it to 58, but at the numbers I was pushing it to, it's 100% discharge, and I'm getting I'll be getting 7,000 cycles as per the manufacturer, and 7,000 cycles is plenty for me. So I upped it to 55.9 volts. On this one it's at 56 volts, and on this one is 55.8, 55.9. So the first day I ran only the fridge and the AC, and I had a lot of capacity left. I woke up with 52 volts. The next day, same thing. So last night I ran it with the fridge, the freezer, and the AC. And I woke up this morning and I pulled, well, a little later because it was cloudy and there was no sun, we pulled 70 amp hours out, 72 amp hours out. So that's about 3,500 watt hours or 3,700 watt hours, give or take. And the battery was still over 51 volts. I think it was about 51 and a half. 51.4, or 50, on this it was 51.1, on this was 51.4. So I recognize that those setting changes are making a big difference. I'm getting much more out of the batteries than what was suggested. So we're going to run it like this for a while. If I notice anything different, I'll let you know. I'm also debating if I should, one thing. The Weco is different from my Nissan Leaf. Let's see if you can see it down there. The Weco is definitely different from my Nissan Leaf. So if I charge my Nissan Leaf to 57 volts, it might fall to 56.5 volts, and it stays there for a while and then slowly starts to discharge. And at those numbers, I'm pulling 100% out of my Nissan Leaf. On this one, if you charge it to 55 volts, it drops to 53 volts, somewhere between 54 and 53 volts. And then it stays from 53, 52.9 to 51 volts all through your discharge process. That's what it is. So the window is much narrower on this. Most of your capacity is, I think, between 50.5 and 53 volts. But when you charge to 55 volts. Makes no sense, but that's how this, well, it makes no sense to me because I'm used to the lithium ion. So this is kind of almost like a lead acid battery. The only difference is that it doesn't discharge, it doesn't discharge in the manner a lead acid battery does. It maintains voltage irrespective of load till the battery is completely discharged. So I changed the float voltage to 54 volts. So it's set to float at 54, set to charge at 55.9, and then to recharge at 53 volts. So pretty cool. I'm excited. It's done what it's supposed to do. So far so good. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. If you're yet to subscribe, please click the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification icon so that whenever I post a new video, you will be able to get a notification and watch it. If you also have a comment, please post it in the comment section below. If you have questions, also post them there. Once again, this is Dr. Solar coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria.